Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about why I cut my hair. Let's roll the intro. Hi, this is Brittany, and you're watching Locked Queen Bee. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome. Also, I want to do a huge shout out to me reaching 50 subscribers. This is a big deal for me. I'm really excited. So thank you guys for subscribing to my channel and always tuning in. Alrighty, okay, so this video is going to be about why I cut my hair and a few other things that have happened since I cut my hair. So just to give you guys a little bit of a backstory, I am someone who really, if I find one thing to obsess over, I obsess over it for a really long time, and it's kind of hard to talk myself out of it until I gradually just forget about it. And so what I was obsessed over was my center part. So when I was on camera, I would have my head down like this and I would look up, and when I was watching my recordings, for some reason my part looked like it went to the right too much, and normally when I part my hair on the side, I part it on the left. And so my middle part looked off to me, and I kept seeing it in every video where I had my head down, and then I looked up and it was so annoying. And so I wanted to correct it, and so what I started to do was, first I went out to the store and I bought some new combs to take down my locks, and then I also needed a new rat tail comb because the one that I have, like the tail part, is bent. So I thought that was throwing off my part, and so I just got a new comb. And then I also bought conditioner. So the conditioner that I normally use is the Hello Hydration. They didn't have it, so I bought Tresemme conditioner. I'm gonna get into that a little bit later in the video. I bought all of those things to help me take down my hair. When I got home, I put a bunch of conditioner in my hair. And so normally what happens is when I use conditioner, it always irritates my scalp. I know they say that you're not supposed to put conditioner on your scalp, it's more for your hair, but I never really had an issue or that feeling with conditioner when I was using it regularly in the past. Right away, the conditioner caused some irritation, which I was kind of expecting with me not having used it for a while. And so I started to take down the back right side, and I only got 5 locks in. I was like, okay, I changed my mind, I'm not doing this. So I rebraided those sections up. I did 2 rows, and the second row is the one that I actually wanted to fix anyway, so I fixed that. And then I rinsed the conditioner out of my hair. I then braided and banded my hair so that it wouldn't unravel or shrink too much, and then I sat in the dryer and my hair is fine. And then maybe like the next day or 2 days later, I was obsessing over like, okay, what do I need to do to fix my hair? And so I started to take out, there was 3 rows on this side, but 2 rows on this side. I took out about maybe 20 on each side, and then I tried to fix my center part. And so what happened was that this side had 3 and this side had 2. So I obviously took hair from the left side to give it to the right side. And so what happened was the right side, it was basically too big. It was too big for 2, but too small for 3 locks, I think. And so I didn't want it, it was too big for 2 rows of locks, but it was too small for 3 rows of locks. And so I wasn't comfortable with putting in, like trying to squeeze in 3 rows, so I just did 2, and those were really big locks. And the same thing on the other side. Then was looking at my center part, and I realized that it still wasn't what I wanted it to be. So that was what led to my frustration, to where I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take my hair down. So again, I put conditioner in my hair, some irritation, and then I started to take down, I actually completed the back section here, so maybe about 25 on each side, and then I started to go up here to right about here, and I maybe got 2 rows, and I was like, okay, this is taking a really long time, I don't want to do this anymore. And so I got really frustrated, and in that moment of frustration, I just decided to cut my hair off. And so I cut my hair by cutting like the longer pieces first, and then I went in to cut just above the interlocked portion. And initially I hadn't cut the interlocked portion, I just cut the braided portion. And so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna sit here and take out the interlocks because I basically didn't want to do this when my hair was like full length, right? So I just cut the interlocked portion off. And so because I had just recently retightened for some of my locks, there wasn't really any new growth, so I had to cut really close to the scalp. And so when I do my 360, you're gonna kind of see what I'm talking about. I did all of this without looking in the mirror, because if I used the mirror that I needed to use, it was in my bathroom, and my dad was visiting, and so he was in my apartment, and my sister was in my apartment, and so my sister and I lived together. So she was home, and I had to get past them to go to the bathroom, and so I didn't want to show my hair until after it was done. But then I was gonna use clippers to shave the rest of it off, and so I went to get some, and then that's when my dad and my sister saw my hair. And so I didn't do a good job of cutting it. It's very uneven. I then went in to kind of like clean up the hair that was longer than other sections of my hair, so I shaved it a little bit, and I probably shouldn't have done that, especially since I'm trying to grow it back and all that. So then once I did my little touch up, I was good to go. But then once I actually looked in the mirror, I saw like how bad my haircut was, and so I'm gonna go ahead and do a 360. Okay, so you can see from looking at my hair that my hair looks really crazy. So my thickest hair, my longer hair is kind of like in the middle with some spots that are really short and shaved down. And then I have thin areas around my hairline. And so I'm going to talk about that next. So I did use my ring light and my camera to actually like look at my scalp more closely, because when I look in the mirror, it just looks like there's hair missing. But when I touch those areas here, I can feel hair. So it's not that I'm completely bald in those areas. My hair is just really, really thin. So there's hair here, for example, and any other spot like here. This is a bald spot. I'm gonna say bald spot, but it's not a bald spot, it's just my hair is significantly shorter. So I can feel hair here, and the same thing in my other spots. So I'm not bald with no hair at all in those sections. One thing that my mom was concerned about was that, I guess when she first saw it, it's gone in a little, it's filled in, it's grown in a little bit since I've cut it. And when my mom first saw it, she was like, oh, well, what if it doesn't go back? And so that was in my head too, and I became really concerned about the areas where the hair is really thin. Okay, so with my hair being really thin in those areas, that's obviously going to be my focus to grow out my hair. So my goal is to grow out my hair to about 2 to 4 inches, maybe 3 is the sweet spot. But I do plan to start a new set of locks. I'm not sure what size I want to do them. The concern, in addition to the middle part, the concern that I had with the last set that I cut off was that I felt like I didn't have enough volume in the back of my head, because in the very middle of my head, like just, this is the crown, and then right here, this is the crown, and then right here, this area is what I was concerned about, because that was where my biggest locks were, and I felt like because my bigger locks took so much hair, like it kind of cut down on my density too much in those areas. And so I know that I did 4 locks in each row, and then 5, and so in the section where I did 5, I'm sorry, the section I did 4 and 4, sorry. I did 4 and 4, and so in the section where I did 4, and that's where my largest locks were, I may try to cut that down to about 5, or yeah, cut that down to 5, so that it gives me 1 more lock in each row. So that would probably give me about 20 more locks on each side. So that would bump my number up to about 370 if that works out right. And so I just felt like my hair is really flat, and I want big hair, but I also want something that doesn't require a lot of time for me to retighten it. And so that's something that I may do. I may even just try to put in the exact same number, I'm not sure, which is 330, a little over, maybe it was between 330 and 340. So I'm thinking about that. I definitely want to do extensions because I don't think I want to go through the short ugly phase again. Like, that was really horrible because it was really difficult to retighten my hair when it was that short. I know, but that was a huge concern that I had, and so that was why I started going to my loctician. This time around, I'm not really in a position to go to my loctician because of the pandy and all that, so it would be really hard for me to do my own retightening, I feel, with my hair that short. So what I do plan to do is do extension. I've ordered the hair already. It's just regular Afro kinky bulk hair. I got it from AliExpress. It hasn't come yet. I got the 18-inch, and I'm hoping that it gives me the length that I want. I have some concerns about it, but I'm gonna wait for it to get here and so that I can look at it before I come on camera and talk about it. My goal with extensions is just to give me back the length that I basically cut off like 2 or 3 years ago. And so I want my hair ideally to be a little bit past my shoulders so that when it shrinks up, it's either right at my shoulders or just a little bit above it, if it shrinks up that much at all. And my hair with the 18-inch, it could be a little bit longer. It could be almost bra strap and then just shrink up a little bit shorter than that. So I do want my hair to be significantly longer than it's been in any of the times that you've seen me these past 2 years. And so I'm really excited about that, but I'm also mad because I could have more easily added extensions to my locks, being that I had interlocked a few times, and I feel like it would have been harder for my extensions to slip out. There is a video that I found that is going to be really helpful for me when I do my extensions. So there's 2 videos. One, I watched a video that I'll link here on how to underbraid and add extensions through the feed-in method. I braid with the hair going under. I do that when I'm doing someone else's hair, and I do that when I'm doing my own hair. So I'm braiding up this way, but it's the same motion, but it's just because my hands are positioned differently, it looks like it's different, but it's the same. I braid underhand. And so I had a hard time finding a tutorial on YouTube that showed how to do the feed-in method with the underhand method, because I don't braid like a normal black girl would. And so there was those videos that showed the feed-in method with that style of braiding was not helpful for me, because I would watch a video and then I would have to figure out how to tweak it to how I braid. And so I found one video that was exactly what I was looking for. She was braiding her hair the way that I braided it, and the way that she inserted the hair into the existing braid was perfect. And so the only issue I have with that is I'm not sure that I'm confident in my ability to do the feed-in method for like 300 plus braids. That's gonna be a lot. And so I'm more comfortable with doing a crochet method, which I'll link here. This was a really good video, and this is something that I wish I could have done for my locks before I cut them off, but I only found out about this method after. And so what I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about that video in a second, but normally when people add extensions to their locks, they use the crochet method, but they're like crocheting locks onto the end of their hair, and they're using a crochet hook. And so that wasn't helpful for me because I do not feel confident in my ability to do that at all. And so the crochet method that I'm going to be doing is basically you braid your hair and then you crochet the hair basically in between your scalp and the braid, and then you just braid or twist down. And I feel like that's going to be more realistic for me to do for 300 plus braids or locks. And so there may be a little bit of times where you can see in the braid, you can see my hair, but I don't think I'm too concerned about that. My concern is I don't want my locks to be too big where I added the hair but it doesn't fit through the roots. So I'm gonna need to figure out how to appropriately size the extensions to match the braids that I'm doing, so that it's not too much bigger than how my hair would naturally lock, and it doesn't make the interlocking process difficult. Okay, so now what we're going to talk about is the conditioner that I use. So normally, again, I mentioned this earlier in the video, I normally use Hello Hydration. So it's like the blue bottle. It's a clear bottle with blue conditioner in it, and I love that. I love that conditioner. I've used it like pretty much my whole time of being natural. And so the hair store that I went to, they didn't have that, so I just bought Tresemme, and I thought that that was a good brand, and so I didn't have any issues with it. And so I used it twice on my hair when I was trying to take down my locks, and then both times it irritated. What happened after I shaved off my hair was I had really bad itching, and so I tried different things to make my scalp feel better. So I had used aloe vera. I was still using my fenugreek mixture. I used apple cider vinegar diluted as a remedy, and then at first I thought my hair was just really dry, so I just put like hair product on it, and that made it feel a little bit better, but then I still had the itching. And so I cut my hair last Thursday. Today is August 7th, so I cut my hair like maybe July 29th or July 30th, something like that. And so since then until maybe 2 days ago, so August 5th or something like that, I had really bad itching, and it was keeping me up at night because it was that bad. And so I started doing some research. At first I thought I was gonna have to go to a dermatologist to figure out what the heck was going on, but then luckily I did some research and I found that Benadryl would help with itching. So I've been taking Benadryl for the past 2 days. I haven't taken any today because my hair doesn't feel that bad at all, and so I really do think that I had a allergic reaction to that conditioner because the itching was really bad. Like, I've had an itchy scalp before, but that was like the worst it's ever been, and I've never experienced something like that before. And so I'm kind of disappointed that that happened, because when you saw my 360, how thin and fine my hair was in some areas, I didn't know if the conditioner actually caused some hair loss for me. And it's going to be difficult for me to know because my hair was locked, which meant that if any hair fell out, it would have fallen out within the lock. It wouldn't have fallen to the floor, you know what I mean? So like, if I was a loose natural and I used that conditioner and my hair fell out, it would have been more obvious in the shower because my hair would be at the bottom. But with locks, it's harder to see that. And so I don't know if the first time that I used the conditioner or whatever, if my hair was like breaking off and falling into the lock. I wouldn't have known that unless I checked each individual lock at the root, and so that's not something that I did. Hopefully this was a good learning experience, and that one, I don't use that conditioner anymore, and then that two, that I'm able to grow my hair back and all over my head to the length that I need it to be so that I can do my lock extension. And so yeah, I'm really excited about that. I know that I'm gonna be waiting at least 3 months for my hair to grow back. Right now it's barely half an inch all over, so I have a long way to go. I am using my fenugreek mixture to make it grow faster. I'm not using the crown elixir. I've been talking about that in my past videos, but the mixture that I'm comfortable with right now is fenugreek, aloe vera juice, MSM, and then I have been adding in sweet almond oil and lavender oil. And so yeah, so I'm just gonna continue to do that for the next couple of months. So hopefully August, September, October, hopefully by the end of October or the beginning of November, I have enough hair to where I can do my lock extension. I'm kind of excited but apprehensive about doing another set from scratch because I know how much goes into like parting and doing each lock and all of that. So I'm not super excited to be establishing a new set, but I am excited for once I do get all of my braids and my parting correct and all of that, and it comes time to add the extension. That's the part I'm most excited about because I want to see how that looks. Also, my last update is that my mom has kept her locks in for about 5 weeks now. Next week will be 6 weeks for her, and I'll be doing her retightening because her hair is finer and not as finer. She has fine hair, but it's a looser curl pattern. So for her, I'm gonna be doing a 3-point rotation, and she actually has quite a bit of new growth, so I'm really excited about doing her retightening, because this will be my first retightening on someone else, and it'll be interesting to see how long it takes me and all of that. I'm definitely going to be using my nappy lock tool, but I may try to play around with using the crochet hook that I bought, the IFBA tool. I'm going to try using that to see if I can interlock the way a sister lock consultant would. And so yeah, I'll let you guys know how that goes once that happens. I do want to give another update. So now that my hair is short, how am I wearing it? So when I'm in my house, I really don't have much on my hair. I just leave it as is. When I go out, I either put on a baseball cap or I have on a head wrap. So I found a really cute brown head wrap. Let me show you how that looks. So this is the head wrap that I got from my local beauty supply store. So it's like a jersey knit, and it's really, really long. So I'm just going to show you without a mirror how I put this on. Ooh, yay. So when I go out, this is basically how I wear this head wrap. So this is a really good color on me. It's flattering. I did initially try this with the black scarf. Excuse me. I did initially try this with the black scarf, but the black felt too harsh. It just didn't look good, and so I wanted to get a different color. Initially, I was planning to get a color lighter than this, but this color is perfect. And so I wear this when I go out, and then I also wear this in my Zoom meetings for work. And I just really love that I have this alternative, because normally I would have just worn my black headscarf, and I hated the way that looked on camera when I was doing my establishments in the past. And so this looks much better, it's more attractive and all of that, so I feel really good about wearing this. The only thing is that I think that if I want different colors, I'm gonna have to get like a cloth material, like a t-shirt material, because this they did have a silver or a gray color, but it looked very metallic-y, and I didn't like that at all. And so right now this brown one is the only one that I have. I may add to my collection down the line, but for now this is good enough. And so I'm just gonna keep this on my hair when I go out, when I'm in my meeting, until my hair is long enough to where I can do what I want with it. And wish me luck. So yeah, so hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. If you guys have any questions, or if you want to share your own experiences with shaving your head or cutting your hair off or big chopping, definitely leave them in the comment section below. And thank you guys so much for tuning in and for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye guys.